Hello, everyone, and welcome to What I'm Watching. I'm Dr. Durene Willer, and I'm so glad that you're here. This series is about reviewing, not is isn't about reviewing movies or giving films a rating. It's about discovering the lessons hidden inside stories. And I believe that movies, television shows, documentaries, books, cartoons, and even anime can teach us something about ourselves if we're willing to pay attention. Sometimes a story entertains us, sometimes it challenges us, and sometimes it helps us heal. Today's film did all three for me. Today's recommendation is The Art of Racing in the Rain, and it came out in 2019. I have watched this movie 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and each time I notice something different. I laugh, I cry, and I reflect. And by the end, I find myself thinking less about race cars and more about life. The story follows Denny Swift, a race car driver, but what makes the film unique is that the story is told through the eyes of his dog Enzo, and Enzo is named after Enzo Ferrari. Enzo isn't just a pet, he's an observer, he's a companion, he's a witness to love, loss, family, disappointment, hope, and perseverance. One of my favorite moments comes when Denny falls in love with Eve and she says to Enzo, "Is it okay for me to love him too?" And Enzo looks at her and responds, like I have a choice. I laugh so hard because the look on this dog's face, and it reminds me of my own cats when my son was born. Before he arrived, they had my full attention. Then suddenly there's this tiny little human who became my priority. They knew they were still loved, but things had to change. I imagine they probably had the same expression Enzo did. And that scene made me laugh so much. But this movie also made me cry. As Enzo reflects on his life, I find myself reflecting on my own, as well as thinking about my mom. This year has been one of tremendous loss for me. Losing my mother after having her in my life for 59 years has changed the way I think about family, love, and the time I have left. I find myself wondering what the next 30 or 40 years will look like if I'm granted that time, especially without me being able to hear her voice, see her smile, or call her just because I need my mommy. Grief has a way of changing how we watch movies and how we walk through life. Sometimes we discover that we're not really watching the characters anymore. We're seeing ourselves. One line for the movie that stayed with me long after the credits rolled, Denny explains to Eve that a race car driver must have the courage to create the conditions they need by working with the rain rather than allowing the rain to work against them. That isn't just a good racing advice, it's good life advice. None of us gets to choose when the storms come. We don't choose illness. We don't choose disappointment. We don't choose grief. We don't choose people letting us down. But we do choose how we respond. Life isn't about waiting for the rain to stop. It's about learning how to drive through it. Watching Denny continue moving forward through his career setbacks, family struggles, and heartbreaking loss reminded me that resilience isn't pretending everything is okay. Resilience is deciding to keep moving anyway. And perhaps Enzo teaches us the greatest lessons of all. He reminds us to love deeply, to remain loyal, to stay hopeful, and to appreciate the people we've been blessed to have on this journey with us, even when that journey eventually comes to an end. If you're looking for a movie that will make you laugh, cry, reflect, and maybe even appreciate your own life and those in it a little more, I highly recommend The Art of Racing in the Rain. So I'll leave you with this question. What storm are you learning to drive through right now? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed today's reflection, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.